Welcome to the Big Human Toolbox. I am Randi.
And I am Todd. Today we'll be talking about strategies for big human, little human relationships.
Come and join us at our dining room table as two professionals share insights, knowledge, tools, and strategies with you. Hi, welcome to our first episode. We are excited to share with you Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs.
We hope that you've had a good week. And we are excited to be able to start our series on the Maslow Hierarchy of Needs. The reason why we think that this is a good foundation or beginning point is, remember what we talked about, or we hinted on last episode, is that in order to know what to do, you have to know where people are at, right? That's kind of the whole part of this, is that to really be able to connect with people, to connect with little humans, you have to know where they're at. Just go back to Randi's story about her young student. She had to know where he was at so she would know how to respond. And so these needs are going to help us to know where to begin.
Right. But before we get there, I'm going to share a funny because I love funnies. Okay. So one time I was teaching and we were researching an important Revolutionary War person. And I had made pictures of all the people, and then I had looked up the research for my students because I didn't want to spend forever looking on research. And so I had these packets, and they were picking different people. And the student was looking through, and he's like, I picked Benedict Arnold. And I looked at him and I said, Benedict Arnold was a spy against America. Is that who you want to pick? And the student said, it's okay. I wouldn't want him if it really happened. And I looked at him and I said, it did really happen. He looked at me in horror and he's like, oh my God, no, I pick another. And so he had totally missed the whole fact that the Revolutionary War was a real thing. And that Benedict Arnold really had spied on America. I love it. Oh, cute kid. So, Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. So can you just go through and maybe tell us each of the stages?
Sure. So a couple different things about Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs is one is that to some degree the hierarchy of needs is a very kind of system-based hierarchy, right? Where it's very difficult to be a very self-actualized person where you have the ability to be who you want to be, but also be able to be what other people need you to be. If you are homeless, or if you are having severe medical problems, right? And so in some degree, the steps we're going to be talking about are real steps. But at the same time, I also think Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs is also very fluid. And that is, you can bounce between each step as well. Because I think sometimes you can be a very self-actualized person and then something happened to you in your life, like losing a job, or maybe you lose your home for some reason, and you'll have to trickle back down to focusing on those needs, but it doesn't mean that you've lost that sense of progress. So with that said, here are the basic steps. So it starts off by Maslow saying that the first basic fundamental need are your physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing. And as we go throughout this, we will talk about the differences in what that looks like and how that changes a little bit. Safety needs is number 2. personal security, employment, resources, property, health. And the other thing too is you'll realize that each person has their own need of safety, and that safety looks in a different way. And when we get to that one, I have a very funny story about my son and his need for safety and what that looks like. But the next one is love and belonging, right? So we have this need for friendship, family, a sense of connection. And you're going to meet people who some really want to have lots of connection, right? And a lot of my kids will base their own sense of self-worth of how many followers they have on YouTube, right? And then you're going to have some people that say, I don't need lots of friends. And that's correct. But we all have that need for love, belonging, and connection. The fourth one is esteem, right? This sense of respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, freedom. And for me, I think esteem is a sense of confidence in oneself and a confidence in knowing how to get the help that you need. And whether that confidence is really in yourself or in principles, beliefs, or a deity, but it's this very stable way of feeling confident to be able to do what you need to do for yourself and for others. And the last one is this sense of self-actualization, right? This desire to become the most that one can be. And I think self-actualization is really this place in yourself where you know who you want to be. And you're not going to let anything stop you. But at the same token, you're aware of only what you can control. You are aware that you affect other people. You're aware that other people affect you. And that you have the ability to manage through all of that in a way that doesn't sacrifice yourself and sacrifice other people.
So I am the way I am, and I'm a researcher. And so I researched each of these steps. And in thinking about them, I thought, how would I implement it if I was a parent? Or maybe if I was working in a facility where I was dealing, with kids on these needs. And I'm a very visual person. And so I decided that I was going to create a PDF for you guys. You can find it on my Teacher Pay Teacher store. I'll just do a nominal fee because it took me some time to put together. But I have a list of all the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And then each of the needs we're going to go through, I'm going to share a quote from some people or a couple people that I found. And then we're also going to talk about different strategies that we can do. And then there'll be some goal pages that you could use with your little people. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking time to build your toolbox today.
If you enjoyed today, please like, subscribe, and think about leaving a rating and review. We also love comments.
If you know of someone who could use the information you learned today, please share.
We appreciate your time and support. Please follow us on social media. The links are found in the show notes below.
Also remember to share your funnies with us. I can't wait to hear your funny stories.
See you next time on the Big Human Toolbox.